Hey guys, Gaba here. So, look at this, what I got. The XL Whiplash, the miniature aircraft, XL Whiplash 90 electric. So, I am excited. Really, really excited about this bird. Let's see what I got. So, in this little helicopter, what I have gotten is the helicopter itself with the tail blades and the Maverick G5 Pro 690 flybarless blades and the frame itself. I've gotten the pinion and everything because it's a very unique pinion that sits on it. It's a different kind. It's a one-way pinion, so it's going to be interesting to figure out how that works out. But apart from that, looking at the bird, this is freaking sturdy. Like everything is made of brushed aluminum. There is no slop whatsoever. I cannot pull the parts one way or the other. It is rigid. The frame is made of 2 millimeter carbon fiber or graphite, whatever you want to call it. One of the same thing. The bird in of itself sits taller than the 700 Align, like my Align 700 V2, which I just sold to Paul. Actually, thank you to him for funding my new purchase. But anyways, all that said, I have now this XL which sits higher than the Align. It is beefier than the Align. It is well, now you would say if it's higher than the Align, then is it really that responsive? Or if you people have heard anything or researched anything, you've probably figured out that you need a low CG for flying. Well, look at the frame. It's a huge frame. It is huge. But how do they keep their CG low? The main shaft is pretty low. So I don't have a whole lot of room if I go 713 or 710 millimeter blades. Right now it's 690. And to add to that, the batteries sit right about where, that's as far as the batteries would go. My 12 cell pack would probably be as far as this loop is hanging right now. So what you see is about this much part, I guess 2-inch to 3-inch part of the helicopter is actually just no weight in it at all. So all the weight is concentrated between the head and right about here where the battery sits, and the boom and the head are very close to each other. Really good, really well built. As I can see, the swash plate has like absolutely no slop, right, left, up, down. There is nothing in the swash plate that would budge. One thing that is that the parts for this thing are expensive. Just the freaking main gear, made of Delrin. You won't strip a lot of them, but if you crash bad, and this is a 700 size bird, they crash, they cause problems. It's this main gear in and of itself is like freaking $40 just for the main gear. But I mean, it's all worth it. See, there is only one main gear. There is no one way in the main gear. The one way sits on the motor. The motor sits right on top of here. And basically the one way bearing is, the pinion is inside a one way bearing, and the shaft of the motor drives the one way, and we'll see. I'll do another video of it. I have I don't know if this camera will zoom in very well. If you see this canopy mount, this is the RC Booyah mounts. What these are for is that at any cost, this helicopter canopy should not come open in flight and go into the blades and cause destruction. So it's a ball link kind of a deal. I love that, and I use that on my 700E2. Paul, when he gets the helicopter, he'll notice that, and that's a very good setup. And once these go in, they do not come out until you press the button and release it. So it's a pretty good thing to have. But regardless, about the helicopter, the landing gear is one with the kind of becomes one with the frame. Excuse my camera holding capabilities; they're really bad, as you probably have seen in my other videos. The frame has been reinforced where the the landing gear sits. So instead of being a 2 millimeter carbon fiber there, it is a 4 millimeter carbon fiber supported by these frame stiffeners, which is a metal frame stiffener on both front and back. The batteries don't have a tray, they just slide in, and they just slide in on top, they just stick on the top, and they get looped around. The tail servo, like many nitros, sit here, which is different from any electric helicopter, because electric helicopters' tail servos can sit in the back. Because of CG issues, nitros are all built with tail servos in the front, or most of them are. This one, electric, is built with tail servo in the front. That is one thing that George modded. Instead of having the tail servo sit slanted, now he modded the frame to where it can sit perfectly horizontal. Doesn't make a difference in the helicopter. It does give a little more space to install something behind this plate and install like an ESC or whatever. And also for pro pilots, this also makes the CG a little better, but I don't care about that so much. It is a huge front plate. I can sit a full 6-cell pack in there, and I'll still have on top of it, and I'll still have some space. But this is going to be where my receiver pack will be sitting. In Align, I didn't have this much space, so my Hyperion battery used to kind of hang out a little bit, but it didn't make a difference, of course. In my flying, I'm not a pro pilot, and it won't make a difference to a pro pilot either. Alright, on the back, bear with me here. Let me get the helicopter situated right so I don't knock off stuff. It's a huge helicopter, and my small apartment doesn't work very well. Anyways, one piece tail hub. This is all one piece, all machined aluminum. Everything is machined and brushed aluminum. Every little detail is taken care of. Even the gears, these two are one piece, are not one piece really, sorry, are basically they sit inside this, and the shaft in and of itself can come out separate. So if the gears don't strip, I can just loosen the screw here, and slide the whole shaft out from this end. So it's really interesting how they have built this helicopter, and it's a very awesome, very different. They have taken care of everything. They have even given ports for hook and loop straps, like loopholes. So in many places, I don't know if this you can really see on the frame, I wish you could a little bit, if you see that hole right there, they have given you enough holes for hook and loop straps so you don't have to like play with them a lot, and you can have enough space where your straps like these can come out of. Even look at the elevator servo. The elevator servo, that little hole, I don't know if you can really tell in the video, that hole will tell me if that servo is 90 or not. And it's all direct to swash. So I've got aileron, I've got pitch, or one or the other, and then I've got the elevator servo back there. So it is a direct to swash 120-degree system. Apart from that, it's a very simple helicopter. I mean, parts, head parts like the yoke and all that, swash plate, three bearing blocks supporting the main shaft, one main gear. The tail gears are right here. It's a torque tube setup, as you probably have figured out by now. But if you look down here, that is all one piece aluminum torque tube transmission. So it comes built from the factory when you buy it new. So, and one very interesting thing, just so you all know, I do not have to worry about gear mesh in this whole helicopter. It comes predetermined from the factory. So there is no way that my gear is going to be too tight with my tail, or even my gear is going to be too tight with my pinion. Because from factory it comes with 13, 14 or 15 pinion, 13, 14 or 15 tooth pinion, one-way pinion, one-way bearing with pinion and all that setup. So they have given you enough. They have given you 3 different holes. So if you have 13, you go in the one hole, 14 and 15, and all the gear meshes are predetermined. You don't have to worry about it. You just slap it on and it will fly. I have read on the forums, multiple posts have not found an issue with quality control on the gear enough that it would cause, it would cause you to have a bad gear mesh or something like that, or anything like that. In this helicopter, since this helicopter came out, there has not been a recall. There has not been an upgrade part made or needed be made for this helicopter, because it is complete. There is nothing needed on this helicopter to complete it. One interesting thing is that the fact from factory it does come with a metal tail rod, which is different from many big helicopters because they come with carbon fiber, but it has 4 supports and it's not going to go anywhere. Many older helicopters ran with that. I have more than enough space in this huge frame to put electronics in it and stuff like that, so it's going to be fun to build it. I probably will be putting my ESC right down here with my wires coming out of this hole, or probably these 2 holes if I have, because I have parallel setup, sorry, series set.